Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, at Schooley Mitchell, we help businesses save money, but we also like to promote other businesses in the community, whether you're a non-profit or whether you're a profit-making organization. And today I have with me a non-profit organization, and the CEO is Sydney Jackson, sorry. She is with FACE, and I'll let Sydney explain what FACE stands for. Welcome to the show, Sydney.
Thank you very much, William. My name is Sydney Sampson Jackson. I am the principal of the Florida Autism Center of Excellence. We are the only tuition-free public charter school in the Tampa Bay area that serves students with autism age 3 through 22.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sydney. Who is Sydney Jackson? Tell me who you are.
Well, I was a behavior therapist for students with autism up in the DC, Virginia, and Maryland area after I graduated from the University of Virginia. And I was really interested in learning more about autism. So I came to Tampa to go to the University of South Florida, get my master's in autism. And as I got there, I was looking for a place for my field experience. And I found FACE. There are 155 students with autism here from 3 through 22. And it was really a dream come true for someone who wanted to learn more about autism. So I started as a kind of teacher's assistant with my RBT certification. Then I became a teacher. Then I finished my master's, became their curriculum specialist, and then their assistant principal, and now their principal. I've seen the school from a lot of different vantage points, and I really believe in its mission, and I can't wait to share more about it with y'all today.
I apologize. I announced you as the CEO. It's kind of the same thing. You run the show there. That's what I
Oh,
meant.
principals wear a lot of hats. Everything from the finances to sometimes the plumbing when a student overflows a toilet. We do it all.
So you are the CEO then. I got it right that time. So explain to the viewers, what does FACE do? Can I go into a little bit more detail as to who you're helping and why you're here in the community?
Yeah, so the students that we have all have an IEP, individualized education plan, which means that they require some exceptional student services. And all of them have ASD services. It may mean that they have a diagnosis of autism from a medical professional, or maybe they were just evaluated by the school system and saw that they need something special. Our school was chartered to specifically serve these students because they haven't been successful in another school. They are about 80% of our students are nonverbal, which means they don't have a functional communication method, and they need supports, visual supports, speech generating devices, just anything to help them communicate. And because of their deficits in communication, they often have a lot of behaviors, aggression, hitting, biting, scratching, things that they do because they're frustrated, because they can't communicate with the world. So when we give them the tools that they need to communicate and manage their emotions, that's when we turn our school into a place where our students can thrive in the classroom and learn not just academic skills, but also those social emotional skills and independent skills that they need for their life outside of school.
And sometimes these kids are in the normal curriculum schools and they come to you. Can you explain a little bit about that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have heard a lot of horror stories of families that tell us that their students were in a maybe a regular school program, or maybe they were in a separate class, but the teachers, the schools just didn't know how to support them. So they came to our school. It's a simple application process. They just need to show us that IEP that has that ASD on it, and as long as they're eligible for our program and we have a seat for them in one of our classrooms, then they can come in. And we work with them because all of our staff are trained in what's called applied behavior analysis, or ABA. So all of our staff are trained in the principles and practices of this science of behavior to work with students with autism in order to be able to support them that maybe other teachers and schools across the county, across the country just aren't prepared to do yet.
And this is an important piece to highlight. What does it cost to have a student come to your school?
What does it cost for them to attend our school?
Yes, is there any cost to the parents for a kid attending your school?
No, there's no cost. We're a public charter school, and that's one of the really special things about our school design is that the private ABA therapies that is recommended for people with autism to acquire more skills and manage their behaviors can be really costly. And because of the increasing demand of autism's prevalence rate increasing, they're really flooding those ABA centers. And sometimes also with financial limitations of that family, it's just simply not possible for all of these people with autism to get this specialized therapy. So we incorporate this specialized therapy in the design of our school program so that all of these children and young adults with autism can get that benefit of this therapy just in their free and appropriate education.
And obviously, being a charter school, you get a certain amount of government, local government funding to help you run the place. Mm-hmm. But my understanding is that it takes a lot more money per child because you have to have a certain amount of tutors for each child, where it's less than that at the normal curriculum where the other kids go to. Can you explain a little bit about that and why you need more funding?
Absolutely. So we really get the majority of our funding through local, state, and federal funds, but we really rely on fundraising in order to pad our program and give our students really more things that they deserve to have in their education. Students with autism learn differently than neurotypical peers. And because of that, they really require an individualized design of their education. So in more simple terms, a typical textbook wouldn't work for our kids because maybe they have skills that are below grade level that they're still trying to master. So we really need to be creative in our instruction and teach exactly how they learn and what they need to learn. As you can imagine, it requires a lot more resources to do that. Yeah. And it requires a lot of creative and skilled staff members. And everybody in education right now is talking about how teachers are some of the most caring and hardworking people. They're also the most severely underpaid. We really appreciate being able to give our students, but also our staff, the resources that they deserve. And really, funding is what makes that possible.
So as a final point, speaking of the funding piece, how can anybody watching this show help FACE right now?
Well, if you feel it in your heart to support a school who serves children with autism and young adults with autism, you can go to our website and donate to our program. Anything that you donate to our program, we're going to use to support these students in their education, whether that's technology in order to enhance their instruction, or whether it's resources that we can use for hands-on learning in the classroom. Those are the things that really ensure the quality of our educational program for our students.
Fantastic. If you're watching this show and you have been touched by autism in any way, this school, FACE, are doing an amazing job in the community. It's free at the point of contact, but they need money, they need help, they need support. Go and tell everybody about this place and put your hand in your pocket, or somebody you know to put their hand in your pocket to help this organisation thrive and continue to do the amazing work that you do, Sydney. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure of mine, having visited the school, to see the work that you're actually doing and now having the ability to help promote something of what you're doing.
Thank you very much, William.
Absolute pleasure. I will now hand it over to Dave for the weather.